I have to get my bag right this year. I have the ambitions of playing in the Open and going through the qualifying stages, and it's imperative I have the right clubs. This year I have changed every single club in my bag apart from my wedges and my butter. Some may say this is risky, especially the shaft options I went for. This is a big deal for me as I've not changed my irons in 3 years. I just loved the clubs I was using, but I did feel it was time for a change. Maybe time for an upgrade. Let's go through my golf bag for 2025.
But let's start with driver, and what a place to show you my bag setup for 2025. I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but it's I'm not Italian, it's Antegola. What a place. You should see the castle, 6th century. You should see the golf course. You get some spectacular views in this video, as well as learning what I've got in my bag. So let's start with driver. A lot of you are thinking, are you one of the only people that have gone for the Elite? Yes, I am. And do you know why it was? Last few years, I've had a TaylorMade driver, very much a carbon face, whereas here, titanium. So very different feel. And I've gone for it in the middle of the range model with it set to neutral. And actually, interestingly for me, a little bit more of a lower loft than I would normally. 9 degrees. And boy, does it perform. Now, before even going to the shaft, you'll notice that I've gone for some bright yellow grips. These are ionic grips, and I've been told these grips will stay sticky for a very, very long time. Now, I should also mention in this video, we're going to go through the numbers on this hole of how far each of the clubs go that I'm using. You'll now notice autoflex. Everybody knows about these. I've done several tests on these shafts, and I'll be honest, right? Until getting it in this head, it never worked for me, which is a really bizarre thing because it was a standout winner when I did my shaft fitting. And I would say standout, it literally was miles apart. Look at this. I'm gonna get a little bit nervous showing you this. I can't tell you what flex it is. I don't know what flex it is. No one knows. It's got Korean hidden technology. So that's my driver spec. Should we hit one? And then we can start getting some numbers. Golf ball wise, I'm using the same golf ball as last year since it's a what's in the bag for 2025. Vice, Pro Plus, and yeah. Don't have any superstitions. Does anybody have superstitions that will only use certain numbers, by the way? I know some of the top pros do, but do you? I don't know. Okay, right, let's get playing, you know. This place looks unreal. Let's get playing. Well, that's actually the first shot I've ever hit out on the golf course with my driver. Oh, it's a little bit off the bottom, but look at the ball you can see against that backdrop. Tell you what, if I hit it off the bottom like that, I will not be disappointed. Let's have a little look at those numbers. There's a little bit of an early morning stiff swing, but I'm really happy about that. Very soft, very, very stiff this morning. But look what we got out of it. Maybe it was off the bottom, Alex. And let's see what total we got here. 246 total. That's not to be sniffed at. I know I've got way more in that, but I actually want a driver that's going to help me perform, not just when I bomb one, but actually when I don't hit it too good. Yeah, maybe a little at the bottom, but certainly down the middle of the fairway. Right, let's jump in this buggy. I'll show you my 3-wood and we'll crack on with the rest of this full bag show round of 2025. Right, so this is the 3-wood. It's a GT, and I actually got fitted for this at the end of last year, but it's still current, and it's just gone in the bag. It's a GT2, 15 degrees, set on A1, right? And then shaft, we've gone for a hazardous 6.5, 70 gram shaft. This thing's really cool. The only thing I actually need to do here to update this, or I should say upgrade this, is get the yellow grip. Let me know what you think of yellow grips. A lot of people said when I showed you the build, which is a seriously cool process at Scottsdale, we weren't quite sure on the yellow grips, but let me know your opinion. Are you someone that would go for bright grips? Are you not? Right, let's crack on, show the irons. Just wow, what a place. Now, this place was redesigned in 2018 and had like multi-millions invested in it. It's a Robert Trent Jones design. Now, anytime I play a designed golf course by him, I'm like, you know it, right? You seriously know it. They're spectacular, and this is one of them. We time this well, don't we? timed it. We positioned this well, just missed that bunker. Let's get a yardage and let's find out how far we've got so I can show you irons wise. And it's mad that I've got a set of these in the bag because it's always a brand that I've wanted to, not to fair, always a brand that I've looked up to, and that's also a good point. 156. Without the support of you, I wouldn't be able to have this fit and have these clubs. So just a big thank you from me. I do appreciate it. So 156 yards, it's cold, you know, and that really does affect how far the ball will fly. So I'm thinking, I want to say 8. I'm going to go ambitious. So I have gone for Mizuno Pro 243 irons. Just look at those beauties. They are literally a work of art, like a pure work of art. Like, look at them. That's the face. And what I really like about them is this, how it sort of captures the ball here with the way I look in the face. Ooh, I've healed one there, haven't I? Look at that. But the way it sort of sits down at the ball, and I'll show you that in a second, but I like this dull to the outer bit shiny. And you thought that was cool. Again, yes, we've got the yellow grips. Let me know your thoughts. But look at this, Oban Reserve shafts. Now, what's really interesting about this, have a look at the back here. I'll explain this now. My shafts have been pured. Now, it's a bit of a contentious subject, that. Let me know if you've ever had yours pured, if it's something that you've thought of having. Do you think it makes a difference? I honestly think it does. Now, look at this. You'll probably look at this and go, well, Alex, the decal, this here, is sat on the side of the shaft. That doesn't look right. It should be sat underneath. Well, the reason for that is because this has been pured, it's been pured to the hard side all the way down. That means the decals are just sprayed on, right? This means this shaft sits in the perfect space, but that meant the decal sits on the side. Doesn't bother me, might bother some people. Right, let's head over here. People are probably thinking, Alex, why did you go for Mizuno? What was your reasoning behind it? Now, reasoning behind it was, again, I mentioned it's a brand that I looked up to. I tried the TaylorMade P790s, I tried the Titleist irons, I tried all the irons that are available. I'll be honest, I did want to go for Mizuno, but I didn't know what model I would go for within the range, okay? Just landed on these. I thought these were a great blend of them both, the 243s, because you got a little bit of help, not overly sized big blade, but as you go into longer irons, it really does still look like, Alex, yeah, you've got half a chance, mate, rather than going, oh, that looks a bit interesting. Let's see what I mean by this. Have a look at down behind the ball there. That's that look. I just love how it sort of encloses the ball. It sort of looks, I don't know, inviting is the word that I said to Cam when I was getting fitted. I was like, mate, they look really inviting. Let's get hitting this shot. Let's see if we can hit the green, and then we'll show you the rest of the bag for 2025. I'll show you what it looked like in the longer irons too. That was a beautiful hit. Go on, be the club, please. Oh, I think we're fringe. Maybe just off the fringe on the right. Decent shot, decent shot. And that's one of the reasons why I love the fact that I went for a graphite shaft. Dispersion is good. Right, so I went for them in pitch and wedge all the way through to 4 iron. So I'll just show you the longer irons here of how they look. So one thing that really attracted me to these irons is they go a little thicker towards the longer irons. So that's the 4 and the 5. And then if I just sort of grab, let's say the pitching wedge as the opposite end of that spectrum, can you just sort of see, let me just hold that there and I'll sort of point the bit I mean, this bit in here compared to this bit here. So it's sort of like a little bit of a graduated set in a way, without being a graduated set. And what I mean by that is slightly smaller profile into a bigger profile. And that's what attracted me to these irons. Right, I have just missed the green. So let's show you my wedges. I've gone for SM9s. They were in the bag last year. I've got 54, 50 and 58. And I've got Daisy on one, Trixie on another, my daughter, and Bernie, my other dog, on the others. This is my 54, and I think I need this for this little shot. And wait till you see this little gem. We'll leave the head cover on, right? Lab has taken over the world, I feel right now. Mickelson's using them, Grant Horvath, Dustin Johnson. Is it a brand you've been thinking, I've got my eyes set on one of them? I'd love to know, actually, because it's a real interesting brand. It's sort of come out of nowhere. Oh, wonder if we can chip this in. I thought I'd hit the green, to be honest, but just a little miss. We pitched there, there's the pitch mark, and we sort of just came back. I thought the green was maybe a bit bigger. My first time here, these greens look cool. Right. Off the slope, come back round. Oh, I thought that would come back on a slightly better angle. Anyway, we got a chance of making the par. I thought I could play a little cool shot. I thought that slope, oh, I like that. So, just to tell you why I went for these, I love the turf interaction. On this, I've got a 12 bounce and a D grind. I'll show you the others right now on the screen so you can see what I've got in my other models. Now, what a putt I've left myself here, by the way. So, putter, let me show you. This is called a cappuccino colour. It's a DF3. I'm lucky enough to get my little initials on it, which is really, really special. So thank you, everybody at Lab. And then in the shaft, I've got an Acra. And the white, I think, with the white grip into the copper, looks so cool. Like, I really, really like this. And then in terms of the line, you can get this chosen, you can change your lines here. I've got this T, but just slightly extended past the back of the shaft. For me, just a bit of a longer T helps with my alignment. Right, so see if we can hold this putt, because I've torqued it up. Let's see if we can do it. Just look at that, by the way. I was looking back then going, wow. Look at that castle. And they're currently actually restoring that castle. And there will be 16 suites in there when the hotel is finished here in a couple of years' time. And apparently, they're going to be, mwah. No doubt. Oh, went round the back. That is one way to make a par, and that is my bag for 2025. Let us know what your thoughts are, and don't forget to subscribe.